Hi everyone, welcome to today's video. Today we are going to be discussing high-end luxury makeup, beauty and skincare. Now you know on this channel I absolutely adore drugstore, I adore luxury, I adore high-end. I am not in any way, shape or form telling you to go out and purchase these products because they're the best products in the world. I just want to share with you items that I continually repurchase even though they cost quite a lot of money. So if you are interested in which luxury makeup and skincare items I would definitely recommend, then please do keep on watching. So we're going to start off with skincare, and I have rambled on about this product in a couple of videos, but there's good reason as to why. It is the Paula's Choice 2% BHA liquid exfoliant. This is, I'd say, one of my all-time favorite skincare products. It's a product that I truly believe has helped to transform my skin. The key ingredient in this is salicylic acid. Now, I'm not going to say to you that I had absolutely horrible skin before I started using this, because I didn't, but I had issues. I had issues around my chin, I had issues around my nose, and I realised that they were something called sebaceous filaments. Basically, it's sebum production on the skin, and then they appear in these little white bumps. Honestly, it was driving me crazy because my makeup was just never sitting right. Enter this. So it's amazing for unclogging pores, for helping with breakouts, acne, hyperpigmentation. It helps with things like sebaceous filaments. It helps to rejuvenate the skin, leaving absolutely bright and healthier skin underneath it. It can act as an anti-inflammatory, it can help with blackheads. The list is endless. I think an exfoliator prior to makeup or the night before makeup can be an absolute game changer. So I just take this on a cotton pad and just wipe it around my face, avoiding the under eye area. And just a little tip with this toner, if I wake up with a blemish or a spot, or I find that I have one at night, I will just dab a little bit of this toner onto the area, and literally within a couple of hours it will be either significantly reduced or completely gone. If you are thinking about investing in something like this, always start conservatively. Start by doing it once a week and then move on and kind of up your tolerance. I've never had an issue with sensitivity with this. It's always best to be safer when you're starting out with a brand new product. It also comes in a little travel size too. If you want to just trial it out, I think it's a really good option. That's what I started with. If I don't use this in my skincare routine, I will know about it. It's absolutely fantastic. Next up, and I know some people are going to roll their eyes when they see this, this is the Charlotte Tilbury Magic Cream. I know people are so divided over this, aren't they? Do I really need a cream that's £70 for about 50 ml? No, you absolutely don't need it. And I didn't use it for many, many years. But genuinely, now that I've started using it, I can't stop using it. I've tried to find dupes, I've tried to find alternatives. I just can't do it. Nothing helps my makeup to stay on and to look as well as this. Obviously, if you've been here before, you'll know that I do like a more glowy complexion. This helps with that. So when I finish with my skincare and my serums, this moisturizer helps to lock that in, but it also helps to act as a primer. This is designed to be a primer for your makeup. So because I have this, I don't need to use a primer. So I feel like I'm saving money in that way. So I've got a moisturizer and a primer in one. It also has the added benefit of having an SPF as well. Now I always use a separate SPF. If you're not the type that wants to do that, if you want to have a 3-in-1 product that feels like luxury, looks like luxury, really does perform and do an amazing job at moisturizing your skin and keeping it really healthy looking, and that also comes in refillable pots, I think this is a really good option. An absolute treat and splurge, but oh my goodness, I adore it. Another one from Charlotte Tilbury, and this has been a staple in my makeup routine for years now, and it is the Hollywood Flawless Filter. I have tested a lot of dupes for this, and I just can't find one that is absolutely identical. Nothing ever looks as good as this. So I only wear this if I'm going somewhere important. So if I'm going out somewhere and I want my skin to look flawless and like it has a filter. Honestly, when I wear this, I always get compliments on my skin. I can use it on its own. It does have a little bit of coverage there as well. But I have to say, if I want to go to that extra level with my makeup, I will go for the Flawless filter. It really does give flawless looking skin. And no matter what foundation I've tried it with, it just looks gorgeous. Another thing, the bottle lasts for ages. If I was to give you a little bit of a tip when applying it, don't apply it to problematic areas because it can be used as a highlighter. So I just use it on the parameters of my face, so kind of around here, around my forehead that I demonstrated. And I do avoid my chin and my nose area because we don't want to emphasize those areas. I could not live without it. I really couldn't. Sticking with complexion, foundation, it's very hard for me to pick one luxury foundation that I love because I love so many of them. When I was compiling this list, I wanted to choose products that I thought would fit the majority of skin types. So this for me ticks every single box. It's the Haus Labs Triclone Skin Tech Foundation. Now, I know some of you might be surprised that I've not picked the NARS. I love the NARS. If I had to pick one that actually is suitable for every single occasion, every event, every single possibility, it would be the Haus Labs. This just gives me everything that I need. It gives me coverage, a really good amount of coverage. It gives me really luminous looking skin. It gives me longevity. This will last me all day. No fading, no streaking, no budging. This is the foundation of all foundations, and it pairs really nicely with all of my other products, especially with any moisturizer that I choose or my Flawless filter. They just complement so well. Doesn't emphasize any texture that I have or any fine lines that I am rapidly developing. It's just very, very flattering and the best all-round foundation that I own, and definitely worth the price tag. Okay, the next product is by Westman Atelier, and this is their Face Trace Contour Stick. I bought this originally in the mini because it was so expensive to buy the full size and I didn't know if I'd like it or not. This has rapidly become my favorite contour of all time, but one of my favorite complexion products of all time. And would you believe it's the first and the only Westman Atelier product I've ever tried, which is a little bit shocking, but I mean, have you seen the price of their stuff? I have this in the shade Biscuit. I think there are a couple of ways to apply this contour. You can apply it directly to the cheek, which is fine. I mean, it's going to blend like an absolute dream anyway, no matter how you apply it. If you want to avoid disturbing your makeup underneath, which there's always a risk of when you apply a product directly to the face, is to just dip your brush into it and then apply it to the skin. And I just think this is the best contour product I've ever used in my life. I think it's perfect for beginners. Anybody that wants to explore contour, but you don't want to go in too heavy, you don't want a product that's a little bit tricky, this is everything. This contour literally sinks into the skin and becomes one with the skin. It is beautiful to apply. It's beautiful to blend out. I mean, it is completely effortless, and I think it's very, very flattering. It lasts all day. If you are umming and ahhing about this contour stick, do it. Go for it. I think it's probably my #1 product that I've tried this year. Next up, we have blush. I am a bit obsessed with blush, and I know there'll be no surprises as to which high-end blush I'm going to recommend. I just love Rare Beauty. Rare Beauty are the absolute pinnacle of blush for me. So I have quite a lot of shades, and the one that you'll see me applying now is in Hope. I'm such a fan, oh my gosh, and I do not even try to hide it. I think the best way to apply these blushes is to pop a little bit into your hand, into the palm of your hand, and it will just help to warm up that product a little bit. I mean, there is no issue in going straight in on your cheek if that's what you want to do, but sometimes I feel like you can't control the application as much. These are literally just dreamy. I think they are just perfect for mature skin because they feel so hydrating. They are very, very creamy. They're so easy to blend. Now they are very pigmented. Selena always says, doesn't she, to go in with one dot and then go from there. And I think that's really good advice. You can always build these up. And I do prefer the dewy blushes. There are some, I think it's more natural matte finishes. For me, it's all about the dewy. I don't need to wear a highlighter when I have this blush on. I've got nothing bad to say about them. Oh, well, maybe one thing. Just the applicator does get a little bit messy, and just around this area here can get a little bit messy, but I'll let you away with that, Selena, because I love these so much. Next up, we have Rare Beauty again, and this is the Rare Beauty Bronzing Stick. I think it's called the Warm Wishes Bronzing Stick, and I have this in the shade Always Sunny. I feel like I can really control these, so whether I draw it onto my face and then blend it out that way, or whether I dip my brush in, I think both ways apply really well. They are very creamy, they are very super blendable, and I feel like they come out looking really, really natural. And I actually love the fact that these are so very, very buildable also. It might be surprising that I have chosen this particular bronzer out of all of the bronzers that I have, but I actually think this Rare Beauty bronzer is so underrated. When I thought about it, it actually performs just as well as any of my super luxury bronzers, and I just think it's very user-friendly and just a really beautiful formula. I have heard people say that they feel like some of the shades do run too warm. I guess it depends what you're looking for in a bronzer. I guess bronzers are supposed to be warm. They're supposed to warm up the skin and give that bronzed glow. I did think for a long time that this was a little bit warm for me, but I think now that I've learned how to use it, I've just been loving this. And again, if I'm traveling, traveling with these little things, it takes up no room. And I really don't think these break the bank either. So yeah, a really good option for a more high-end bronzer that is so super reliable and absolutely beautiful. Next up, we have the Charlotte Tilbury Eyes to Mesmerise pots. I have quite a few of these. I am a massive fan of one and done eyeshadows, especially one and done cream eyeshadows. I've tried so many one and done eyeshadows, even Chanel. They just don't perform as well as the Charlotte Tilbury. I think my favourite shade is Champagne, and this is amazing as a base for your eyeshadow or as an eyeshadow on its own. The one you can see me applying here is actually in the shade Pillow Talk. These are amazing everyday shades. I haven't got the time to be doing a ton of powder eyeshadow in a morning. They're so creamy, they give you time to work, they're not too shimmery, they have a little bit of shimmer, but as you can see on my lids, they are very, very understated and they blend out like a dream. I usually apply these with a brush. If I want more intensity, I will use my fingers. You can use two shades. On this look today, I added a little bit of the Champagne, which is fantastic for the inner corner also. And I just think if you have only got 20 seconds to do eyeshadow, you can't go wrong with one of these. I have some of the Chanel pots and they're so dry. I mean, the colours are nice, but they're so dry. These do not dry out. They remain creamy. If you just want low maintenance makeup, low maintenance eyeshadow, I've used so much of this and there's still tons left in there. Low maintenance, looks like you spent ages on your makeup. These are the one. Fantastic one and done shadows. Next up, the Givenchy powder. When I first saw this spoken about last year, I was really intrigued by the fact it's a quad and it has 4 colours. I was very happy with my Huda Beauty. Still am. Still love my Huda Beauty Easy Bake. It's phenomenal. I mean, there's only so long that I can resist temptation. I would say this is one of the best loose powders for mature skin that you can get, because this is probably the most blurring powder you will ever find. I use this comfortably under my eyes. It doesn't dry, it doesn't cake, it doesn't sit into lines. It literally airbrushes your skin. I'd say the major difference between the Huda and this is the coverage. If you need a bit more coverage from your loose powder, I would say go with the Huda. This doesn't give as much coverage. It is smoother. it is a little bit more blurring and a little bit more filtering on the skin. And I think it works really well under the eyes because of the quad, because of the 4 different colours. It helps to colour correct as well as set your face or your under eyes. I use it predominantly under my eyes, but I have no issue in using it everywhere. I use this so much and it looks like I haven't even dipped into it. You only need the tiniest amount. It really is an amazing powder, and if you want to treat yourself, so this is what this is all about. If you want to treat yourself, you couldn't go wrong really with going for something like this, especially if you have maturing skin like me. It's very, very filtering, it's very, very flattering and super blurring. I own a lot of lipsticks and I am quite happy wearing drugstore lipsticks because I think a lot of them perform just as well as high end. But there is one particular lipstick that just outperforms any lipstick that I have. I know it's not MAC. It's not MAC. The Armani Lip Power Long Wear Lipstick. So these are a satin formula. I can guarantee you that you will get at least 6 hours of wear out of this lipstick. So it's not matte. It has a really nice satin finish. For me, comfort in a lipstick is probably one of the most important things. And my favorite shade is 109. That won't be a surprise to anybody. You can feel the quality. There is nothing about them that I would improve. They are everything I would ever want in a lipstick. And if you were to force me to choose one lipstick to have for the rest of my days, I am going to choose these Armani lipsticks. They are worth the hype. They are absolutely worth the money. And again, I'm not saying that other lipsticks are not good. You know I love lipsticks from every single price point. But there's just something about these Armani Lip Power lipsticks. So if I was to recommend any lip product to you that has pigment, comfort, and it's long wearing, this ticks every single box. So they are my top 10 products at the moment that I would recommend to you that I think are worth the price point. Now, honestly, that was very tricky for me to do. I think this is probably going to be a part 1. Part 2 will probably at some point in the future. But I think for now, if I was to recommend 10 products that I think would suit the majority of people, the majority of skin types, it would definitely be those items. And this is coming from somebody who is a bit of a drugstore girly. I would happily recommend them to you and not worry about my recommendation. Let me know in the comments, what are your top luxury, top high-end makeup and skincare items? I would love to hear about them in the comments. Thank you so much for joining me for this video. I so appreciate you being here with me. I'm really looking forward to seeing you in the next one. But until then, take care and bye for now.